Kyrie Irving is one of the hardest players to guard in the NBA. Despite only being about 6'2", he's a matchup nightmare for anybody that's guarding him. There's some key fundamentals that Kyrie is a master at that makes him one of the toughest one-on-one players to guard. These fundamentals are key to being unguardable, and Kyrie has it down to a science. Notice here in this first clip as he gets the switch that he likes to go one-on-one. He hits his defender with a slow to fast between the legs dribble. It's important to notice the change of speed. Every elite guard is a master at changing speed. The next thing to notice is how low he attacks. Kyrie's head is below his defender's shoulders on this attack, which gives him a spatial advantage. Next, notice the arm swipe, specifically to the defender's arm, now giving him a physical advantage as he attacks. Once he gets a step on his defender, notice the straight line angle that he takes towards the basket, instead of curving out his drive, which would give his defender a chance to recover. Once he gets a step on his defender and takes the straight line angle towards the basket, he uses that angle to his advantage, where he cuts off his defender's momentum by planting in front of his defender off of 2 feet, drawing contact for the tough and one. One thing that Kyrie is super gifted at is changing speeds. Notice here how tightly guarded he's being played. So Kyrie takes one dribble, then the next dribble is a change of speed stop and go hezzy. Look at how this change of speed freezes his defender. Also note how he uses this stop and go hezzy to square his body up to the basket. That sets him up for a better angle for him to attack. Like I said before, look at how low he gets on his attack, keeping the ball far away from his defender as he cuffs the ball away from the help defense for a hop step and soft touch finish at the basket. I pointed out hand swipes in the last clip, and take a look here as he swipes at his defender's arm 3 times as he attacks. Swiping is important because it gets a defender's arm from taking away Kyrie's space, and also forces his defender to actually slide his feet instead of using his arms as a way to stay attached to him. Another variation of changing speeds is stopping on a dime. Kyrie is textbook at not only going from slow to fast, but also going from fast to stopping on a dime. In this clip, Kyrie hits his defender with a between the legs dribble, then explodes out of it, attacking his defender's lead foot, giving him a step on his defender. The defender does a good job of staying somewhat attached, but look at the defender's stance and where his momentum is taking him. Because of how fast Kyrie attacked, which gave him a step on his defender, this gave Kyrie the opportunity to stop right on a dime and raise up into a shooting motion, which doesn't even give the defender enough time to even put a hand up. The initial change of speed was vital in giving Kyrie a step on his defender, which ultimately put him in a position to get his defender going downhill, out of position, so he can stop comfortably into a virtually uncontested mid-range pull-up. Changing speeds as a way to counter is another thing that Kyrie does so well that makes him so hard to guard. See here, as he comes off of the screen, he sort of uses his defender's arm as a way to swipe and propel his way to start his attack hard towards the basket. Then he abruptly stops on a dime with a behind the back move as he changes direction towards the middle. Notice his defender's stance, facing perpendicular to Kyrie. So Kyrie attacks that defender's high hip, knowing his defender would have to open his defensive stance up, as he steps back for extra space for the mid-range jumper. Getting his shot off at 6'2" isn't easy either. So Kyrie has crafty ways in order to get his shot off, and he's a mastermind in baiting and reading his defender. As he comes off of the screen here, covered by a good defender with a long wingspan, he creates space by facing up to the basket, then giving the defender a right foot live dribble jab that forces his defender to back up almost 2 feet, which gives him just enough time to load up and launch a 3. He keeps it simple when reading his defenders as well. He comes off the screen looking for space, takes a dribble, then uses a between the legs dribble to square his body up to the basket, At the same time, he reads that his defender is stuck in his stance, which gives him room to pull his foot back, giving him space to load up and hit another three. An underrated part of Kyrie's game is how physical he is offensively. Along with the arm swipes, he uses his shoulders and upper body very well to his advantage. Notice here how his defender doesn't bite on his initial moves, and the help defense blocks off the middle, so Kyrie resorts to backing his man down towards the basket. As soon as the help defender clears the lane to avoid the defensive 3-second call, Kyrie makes his attack as he takes one hard dribble, swiping and dropping his shoulder into his defender's chest. Then, again, uses his off arm to keep his defender behind him as he finishes a tough left-handed touch shot right at the basket. Even in the post, Kyrie changes speed to explode towards the middle, which ultimately was the driving force for this bucket. Kyrie isn't afraid of being physical, even if it's a borderline offensive foul. As he comes off the screen, he hits his defender with a between the legs in and out dribble, and as he attacks, notice this little nudge that he gives his defender with his off arm. That gives him just a bit of room to elevate and hit a tough pull-up jumper. There's a lot within Kyrie's arsenal that he uses to break his defender down, but these are just some of the noticeable fundamentals that Kyrie uses in order for him to be one of the toughest players to guard one-on-one. These are all similar things that not only a lot of great players do, but more specifically what a lot of great guards do. So I hope this educated you enough on the small basic principles that make Kyrie Irving one of the hardest players to guard.